talking about the Claressa Shields versus Remy Ma situation.
Are they though?
Yeah, it's pretty popular. I mean, they've been a lot of shots going back and forth. It's been on the Shade Room. Claressa's on tour. And it's funny because we talked about Claressa doing more and more interviews, and a lot of that is credited to Papoose setting up these interviews, apparently.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
So you're giving credit to Papoose for the reason why people want to talk to Claressa?
That's not what I said.
The two-time gold medalist, unified champ?
I'm saying that he's been helping her get bags. These are not my words; these are her words. Just what she said. I didn't say this. She said that.
Okay.
To be honest, and let's be honest, she's not selling out 20,000 seat venues. Let's be completely honest right now. Like Claressa's who she is, but let's not sit here and lie to the people. But she's doing a really good job, and I think Papoose is helping her. But the back and forth has been absolutely crazy between the two. Like, I'm just sitting here like, dude, what's going on? And it's unfortunate because yesterday hit like a all-time low, because now for the first time Papoose came out and spoke on the situation, which made it even crazier to me, because Papoose has pretty much been, he's kind of been to himself about the situation, kind of cleft up to close to the vest, and it's kind of crazy because it actually goes back to when I used to be involved in battle rap, and actually a lot of the stuff, I'm not that I'm involved, but it comes to me because a lot of these people I've worked with, and a couple years ago, it was alleged that Papoose had beat up her, I guess her lover or whatnot at the time, who happens to be a popular battle rapper or whatnot. And Pap never really said nothing about it. There were rumors circulating and things of that nature. People were talking about it. A Shade Room. What's the girl that got sued by Cardi? She's really good at what she does. I forgot her name. But it's been everywhere.
Yeah, anything to do with like battle rap and stuff, I have no clue. You're the expert on that. Like, I really don't.
Well, that's pretty much what happened. So, Levon, I try to give a neutral perspective. So, I'm friends with Remy. I'm not necessarily friends with Papoose, but I've actually interacted with Papoose, and he's a straight up guy. I mean, I remember, I'll give you a story. Remy came out of jail. This was maybe a month or two after she came out of jail, and I was on BET. And I had said some things about Remy, but not negative. I was just like, my artist would battle her and destroy her. She's not built for this culture. I thought it was in a competitive nature, and Papoose, he came up to me and he said, listen, he pulled me to the side. Stand-up guy. He was like, listen, I don't appreciate what you said, blah, blah, blah. I know it's competition. I know you weren't being malicious, but X, Y, Z. So he's always been very protective of Remy and things of that nature, and whoever he's, involved with. Whatever, fast forward, there were the rumors of what happened. There was a lot of these rumors going around in the battle rap culture with with Remy and the individual. They were all, of course, denied. And then this transpired with that at her event where allegedly Papoose had came and knocked him out, beat him up and whatever, and basically not ran, but left the venue. Rumors were swirling. Every outlet was picking it up, right? People were denying it. You had like Team Remy denying it. Papoose's people or fans were saying what it was. There were a lot of battle rappers speaking about it. It was really messy. And of course, we all know this brand to be Black Love, which is Remy and Papoose, which was built and was, a lot of people were encouraged by it.
Right.
And it kind of took a really like a south move at that point. Papoose kind of took the high road, didn't really say much about it, said some things cryptically on social media, did not really speak on it, never made a statement. Remy kind of did the same thing. They kind of split. They didn't split. Let me fix that. They actually showed up to an award ceremony, the BT Awards, together, hand in hand. Like if nothing happened. They played the role. They didn't want this thing to go down. As time passed, I guess, again, maybe she kept going on with this individual or whatnot. And, rumors continued to go and stuff that he came out and said or whatnot, which was the alleged lover or whatnot. And it really came to full circle when Papoose finally kind of moved on. And it happened to be with somebody that we cover, which is Claressa the Goat Shields, right?
Right.
And that's kind of when it went public. So not to her fault, but to her fault. She's the reason a lot of this got out because Remy was very upset. Apparently what happened was they were seeing each other. This was after all of that stuff transpired. And this, I think, in last July or something like that. And she had seen some messages from Claressa to Papoose. And that's when the Claressa train kind of hit. And at that point, Claressa was kind of denying it. But she's like, you know what? Screw it. What do we got to hide? And they have been out in the open showing their asses off as they should, which I don't.
Yeah. The thing is this, I understand that everybody that we're speaking of is in the limelight. I mean, yeah, people are going to know pretty much your business, you know. But honestly, the way I look at it, like I'm not as infatuated as the stories as maybe some people are. I feel like it's, you know, two people that were married and having problems and now are separated and then moving on. And he happened to move on with someone that is in the spotlight. Like you said, he spoke yesterday. He hadn't said anything. From what I hear, I don't know him, but from people that do know him, they've been interviewed and said things that he likes to be low key and quiet. They both seem happy. It seems as though Remy Ma she said they haven't lived together in, I think, 4 years. So this is like nothing that's shocking or surprising. I don't really understand why it's a topic.
So let me break down to why is a topic. Remember, they have not been out in the public about it. Remy and
right until recently, when Claressa and he were being seen together, then it was out in the public.
They kind of confirmed that they weren't together because they kind of tried to hide the situation. Now, this is where it gets murky and where kind of Claressa, I guess, has to take some fault in this situation. Where everybody know, I'm just being honest. Okay, listen to what I'm saying. This is why she has to take some fault because she did address that particular situation. Then this is why Remy got upset. And I've seen it, what she was talking about when she said, you know, they asked her about Papoose. And now it's out in the open. And she says, well, he has to handle the divorce and spoke on the whole situation. That's where I think Claressa should have just fell back and said, you know what? That's between them. I'm not going to talk about that. And that's what Remy took exception to it. And that's what she stated. She said, yo, you could have just went by that. We all know y'all together. That's something between me and him. Not saying it's wrong or right, but that's what led to everything that we got going on now.
As a woman, I'm not going to allow another woman to dictate to me what I can and cannot say. So now he's my man. And I'm being questioned about it, and I'm going to speak my truth, and I'm going to say what I need to say. I'm not going to consult with the ex-wife or current wife, the separated wife, to see what is okay to speak on or not. So I see what you're saying, but then I also see Remy could have been like, you know what? That's her. That's what she's saying. This is what I have to say. But as a woman, and Claressa, you know, she is her own boss. She's going to do what she wants to do, as Remy Ma is as well. There's not another woman that's going to tell her what she can and cannot say. This is her relationship now. This is her life. This is her thing now. And she's going to speak on it as she pleases.
Yeah. No, listen, I hear you, but I think sometimes you have to let things play out before. Because listen, you're saying he's your man, but they're still married. So through law, technically, everything has to be settled. And I think this is why I think she should have not said anything. Because I believe in a situation like that, it can be handled amicably behind the scenes. But once it becomes public, now it's like a pissing contest. Now it's going to be, oh, you want to expose me? I'm going to say this about you. And you're going to say, and that all is basically because of what you stated on there. That's why I feel as if at that moment, Claressa should have stepped back and just said, you know, let me not speak about this, because until that moment, we didn't have any of this. And now, and you got to think about it, they got kids.
And this is a great discussion, because there are people that feel as you do, that she should not have done this. And then there's people like me that are like, she can say whatever she wants to say.
She can, yeah.
And I will say this too. And I'm an old head, okay?
Yeah.
I never heard of PAPOOSE. I barely heard about Remy Ma until all this came up. Now I'm interested in what they're doing and what kind of music they have. And honestly, probably people in the music industry that did not care or know about boxing, now they want to know who this new woman is, Claressa Shields. So honestly, it's opening up to a whole other fan group, in my opinion.
It is
Whether it was strategic or not, I don't know. All I know is both women have the right to say and defend themselves if they feel that they need to do that in whatever manner they choose.
I hear what you're saying, but divorce is a very, very tough thing to go through.
Hey, I've been through it. Trust me, I know.
You know, and especially when you deal with children, especially children that can understand and see it.
Trust me, I got it. And let me tell you something. Whoever my ex was with cannot tell me what I can or cannot say. So this is where I'm coming from. As a woman, they both have the right to speak their truth and to say what they want to say. And we just sit back and watch it unfold. You know, he's where he is. I wish them the best. I wish Remy Ma and her kids the best.
That sounds good, but they are not. That's not what's transpiring. What's transpiring is a mudslinging contest where you have a girl that's probably like 7 years old that has her own phone that can see these things. And, you know,
yeah.
I feel
you know what? And you know what? You're absolutely right. And I will say this too. Both her parents are in the spotlight. Both her parents chose this life. Okay. Yep. Now my kids wouldn't go through as much, and they didn't because I was not in the spotlight. But whenever you sign up for this is something that goes along with it. It is just what it is.
Yeah.
Some people care and some people don't.
It is, and that's why. Listen, and again, I got respect for everybody in the situation, and Remy is my friend. I don't consider PAPOOSE my friend, but I don't consider him my enemy. You know, I got a lot of respect for him. I got a lot of respect for Claressa, but I feel like in this situation, I just feel as if sometimes you got to step back and let it play out the way it's going to play out. And you know, when these things happen, you know, it looks corny. This isn't Love and Hip Hop. You're not getting paid for this stuff. And oops, I'm sorry, I took you off.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I know you don't like what I'm saying, but you got to put me backstage. No. What is going on?
No, I don't have no problem with what you're saying. I was actually uploading the images from they were saying. I got a lot of love for Rem. I got a lot of love for
and see that's part of it too. I mean, I'm not gonna deny that there are certain boxers and people in boxing that I'm close to that I actually have a relationship with, and that I feel what you're saying, because I do, and that's your girl. You know, so obviously you're going to be more defensive and protective with her and her kids. I don't fault you for that. I'm just going to say, if you can take that out and you can take a step back and not have any connection with either one, we wouldn't be talking about it.
I mean, they're both big black celebrities in this culture.
Very successful.
Very successful black women. And you know, especially a movement that was built where a lot of people feel as if, black love was built on, just pure love and all that. People were very upset about this. There were fans that were in such denial and things of that nature. And there was a reason why Rem wanted to protect that, because they did become a brand. But to me,
then it just becomes a brand, and it becomes a farce. It's not reality. And you know what? The thing about any kind of love, black, brown, white, yellow, whatever, sometimes things just don't work. That is the reality. It doesn't mean that at one time they did not love each other and they were not committed to each other, but sometimes things just don't work. And I think it's better to be honest so that you don't have to carry this facade and keep up the lies to cover things up. And then when something like this occurs, then you want to go back and smooth things over.
I mean, I just feel as if not everything needs to be played out for the media. And
if you're in the spotlight, it is going to be whether you want it or not.
No,
it is. That's just reality.
But my thing is, like I said, if Claressa would have not said what she said in that interview, I don't think we would get to where we was at yesterday. And I mean, look at these messages. Like, it's so sad. Like, I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Like,
Well, I dare say that you can probably tell Claressa to calm down and behave, and she's probably not going to listen to you.
no, she's an alpha. She's her and Remy are very similar in the fact that you can't tell them to do anything. They're going
Right.
to say what
And
they
that is
want.
why we love them. And that is why they are in the position with their careers that they are in, because they are their own bosses. So when two bosses clash heads, there are going to be headlines, as we've seen.
Yeah, Sheldon, I'm sorry. I had to talk about it because so many, Remy is my
I
friend.
know, Sheldon. I
You know,
tried to warn
but
him that
it
this
just-
was
it
not
just-
a
it
topic
just-
to be talked about.
It's just something that, listen, it's gonna affect. And listen, they're supposed to be both in the building July 12th at the fight that I have not got my invitation to.
You're invited.
Christina's
I
not
haven't
got me
even
a
gotten
ticket.
my credentials yet. You're
So,
invited.
I'm trying to let me be assistant. But anyways, listen, I just want to see. I would just want to see Pap happy as well as her, but I just don't want to see the extra stuff, man, because of your kids.
Turn the TV off. Turn the internet off. Turn it off. It's going to happen.
Can you imagine, Christine, if the internet went off in today's society where kids would be lost? Like, come on. I mean, listen, I get what you're saying. Turn your TV off, whatever. It's not, because now it's coming. I don't want to deal with this just childish battle rap stuff. But this is what's news right now, and this is what to deal with. This is how I'm gonna end this before I move forward. You know what I mean? I feel like they just need to handle the inevitable, and I think that's basically what Remy and them were going at it. They were debating about who filed divorce or why is it taking so long. Handle the inevitable. Let it move on. Let it be something that
Maybe they're in the
grows.
process and we just don't know. They don't have to put everything out there. Maybe Papoose
They
is on
did.
the phone right now.
They did. She just said they even put out the divorce. Let the shit play out. You know what I mean? And just move forward from there, man. And it sucks because this is a situation, a relationship where everything's going to be offensive. Everything's gonna be
I
an attack.
I will say this, Norbs, with all due respect, as long as we're talking about it on podcasts daily, it's not going to die. So the sooner that we stop giving it attention, the sooner they can go back, have their private life as much as they can, and figure things out.
Yeah.
And I wish them all the best. I really do. Both ends, both sides.
It's getting ugly, man. He was saying he wrote all his songs, hit records. It's getting ugly. My thing is this: get divorced, don't tear each other down, and just move on. That's my thing. Do not tear each other down, because at the end of the day, you're going to regret some of the things you said.
Sure, in a perfect world, absolutely.
You know what I mean? I just want to see both Papoose and Remy happy, whether Pap is with Claressa, he looks extremely happy. Claressa looks like she's shining.
Yes.
I love to see it. I want to see Remy get the same thing. Love Rem, love Pap, you know what I mean? Love Claressa. Let's not entertain the buffoons that want this for views. That's
No,
all
I'm not.
Moving